and welcome to episode 2 of the Lakers Pulse Game Report. I am 19 Yanks 23, Clayton Fawcett, joined by Nelson Espinal at Not Famous Nelson. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. D'Angelo went off, and that's all I care about.
Uh, are you sure though that is he the best player on the team, or
I think Lou Williams might be up there. I mean, look at his points total. He had just an overall effect on the team. I think it's undecidedly him.
funny? I do have to say that I talk a lot of crap about Lou, but he did have especially a good fourth quarter because the first half I don't think he was particularly good, but maybe that's just me and a bias.
Well, yeah, that's a bit biased.
Yeah. The fourth quarter was really good for him though.
Oh yeah, he lit it up.
Yeah. Real quick, apologize for no game or no podcast after the game on Friday. For my birthday, my wife got me tickets to the game, so we didn't have a podcast because I was driving home. So, yeah. So, do you want to go off of just these past two games real quick, or just tonight mainly?
Just tonight, I think the best. I really don't want to talk about the best game. So.
All right. Um, what stood out to you most of all, Nelson?
I think obviously D'Angelo Russell is the best player on the team, and that's hands down. And even though Jordan Clarkson showed range, which he's consistently been showing that since last year, which has been good for him, it's still undoubtedly D'Angelo Russell's team. He's the leader. Even it was good to see him and Nick Young sort of mend their relationship, or at least it's good enough for it's a place for now where it doesn't affect Nick Young or D'Angelo Russell, so that's good for both sides. I think it was good to see just some of Zubac get some more run, even though he didn't really do much with that time. I think, and I think probably my biggest takeaway is that August isn't getting any run. I'm not a big August guy, but he played pretty well in summer league. I thought he deserved the nod to get at least a couple minutes here, show a little pick and roll, and show what he can do. But sadly, he didn't get that.
Yeah, August not playing is odd to me because I think Robinson has obvious talent. He was a former fifth overall pick by Sacramento a few years ago, but it just I've seen what Robinson can do the last few years. I want to see what August can show, to everyone else. D'Lo obviously stood out. Clarkson had a good game. Was there anyone really that was just awful? I mean, I can't.
I thought Mozgov wasn't particularly good. Not awful, but I don't think that he was as good as he was these first two games. I thought that he looked a little bit slow. He got juked out a little bit by Nurkic, but Nurkic he shows promise, so it's not really that surprising.
Nurkic outplayed him on Friday night. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I don't think Mozgov looked great on Friday night, but I think a guy like Nurkic is going to give Mozgov issues because they're about the same size, especially in person. It's just, oh my word, they're huge. They're just massive. But Nurkic has the size and the energy, and more athleticism to get around. So I would say the first half, Lou started out, I think, 3 for 10. So he did not start out well, like I said before. But then, of course, he made up for it. Who was the unit? We were up by 14, I think, in the second quarter. And then the bench unit came in, and it was just not good. And the lead went away. Oh my goodness, who was in there? Oh, whatever. Anyways, notables other than August not playing was Anthony Brown didn't play again. I'm wondering if they weren't happy after Friday night. Other than just AB not playing, August not playing, and then of course the the big, D'Lo looks really good, and everyone finally is starting to gush over him, which
Yeah.
Justin at Justin21 LAL in our Slack chat talked about how it is just so funny when a guy like Devin Booker goes off, just Twitter erupts and just swoons over him. But when D'Lo goes off, it's nothing but like, oh, it's just LA. They're playing a bad team. It's not a big deal. Like he was nailing like deep threes, like just off the dribble. So, I mean,
I guess it's narratives. I think we really downplay narratives. They stay in your mind for a long time. If you don't pay attention to the team or follow like D'Angelo so closely, then you'll see a couple good games, but the rest will be like mediocre, average games because that's what most of his games were last year. And then you'll see, oh, he's not that good. And then you come with that perception, and then you get stung by a couple good games here and there. And then you're like, oh, it's just preseason. And then, but I think that. This will carry over to the season, and that's when we're really going to start seeing people truly change their minds. I think that once we get back into the middle of the season, like post All-Star break or even towards the coming up on All-Star break, and you really see D'Angelo come to form, I think that's when the nerves will really start to wash away. People will be like, right, he's the real deal. There's no more time. It's not just preseason anymore. It's not just summer league. It's the NBA season. We're at the halfway point, and he's still balling.
Agreed. Another guy who has shown pretty well the last 2 days was Julius Randle. He had a solid game on Friday night. I sat behind the rim, okay, on Friday night, and when he is running down the court, you're just like, holy crap. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2" and like 275 and a lot of muscle, and he would blow me over. Like, it just would. He's massive.
Yeah.
But tonight he finished. I think it was 7 for 12 with. Oh my word! I'm just a terrible host tonight.
5 assists.
Yeah, ended 7 of 13 in 28 minutes with 4 rebounds, which kind of surprised me, and 5 assists. I think we can kind of put the tunnel vision to bed with him. He's going to have his moments where he still looks down at the floor. But I think a lot of players, especially when driving as hard as he does, he's going to have his head down more often than you would like. Oh my word! I'm hearing so much static. Here, give me 1 second, Nelson. You talk about Randle real quick, all right?
Yeah. So Randle's tunnel vision, one could say that it's gone for the most part. I think that's Silva. I think that, like Clayton said, we're still going to see flashes of Randle looking down or not seeing the open man. Like D'Angelo Russell was wide open by a mile. But I think this speaks more to Randle's control and his body control because, like you said, he goes so hard all the time. And he's actually pulled it back a little bit because last year he was just like running over guys, and this year he's showing a little more restraint and body control. But I think that if he starts to control it even more, he'll be able to react and look a little bit more and maybe finish more shots instead of just throwing it up and being satisfied with the foul that he got. I think we've obviously seen improvement from Randle. I think his jump shot, again, it's not there. It's gonna, I guess it still needs work. Again, this is just a preseason, so we haven't really seen much of it. But from what we have seen, it hasn't looked particularly good. And I think you
so that's wrong. I'm telling you, like there was one where it would be like a high school 3-point shot, and he just overshot it. I'm just like, back up. I think Randle attempted 1 3 tonight. No, that was just that long one. And I'm just like, step back, man. Like in the practice videos, he looks a lot more comfortable with the threes. I think it's just because he's so dang strong.
Yeah.
The thing, how you brought up body control, I have to agree. He was a lot more under control especially with going up. I mean, Nurkic is a big dude, and he scored quite a few. He had seven made baskets tonight. A lot of those were in the lane against Nurkic. Nurkic played 32 minutes, so it wasn't like, he was only playing against Darnell Stokes or something.
Yeah.
So That I think was huge to me because that's obviously one of the biggest things that people complain about with Julius is his inefficiency down low. And I think he only missed 2 down there, maybe 3, but trying to go off the top of my head. Um, what did you think of Nick? He's been the talking point of like all summer, and I think he was pretty good. He made I think he was 2 for 5 for 3. Um, he wasn't a complete zero on defense, which was good. Um, I mean, what do you think? He has to be. He's likely making the team from what it seems
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I think that he showed enough in this game, even though one could say it's just one game. I think the front office they're dissatisfied with what he did tonight to not burn his salary and maybe he could be useful down the line. Obviously, he gets around, he gets along with all the young players, which may not be the best for their off the court activities, but on the court, it's good to see that lose. I mean, that links back to when Mike D'Antoni was the coach. I would say though to not get overly excited with what Nick did tonight. I still saw a lot of that. He check Nick Young, and I mean it's fine because D'Angelo does it, Jordan Clarkson, all the players do it when they're feeling it. They want to shoot it every time they get it, and that's understandable. And Lou especially does that too. But I feel like Nick Young could show a little bit more restraint. I think that when he let the offense come to him, when he allowed the screen, so when he had to get the screen multiple times, and he ran around the court, and he finally got an open three that he nailed him because that's what this offense allows him to do. It allows him to not have to create for himself and isolate, and him have to run the pick and rolls. No, he runs around the screens, and then he gets a wide open three, and he can knock it down. He's a shooter. I know he can hit it. It's just knowing when to pick and choose his spots. I think that if he defers more to a shooter role than just trying to create your own shot and like through the legs, step back, over contested man. I mean, he's not Kobe. So I think it'd be good for him to show a little more restraint on that end. But I think it was good to see him in a different role, sort of. I think I was expecting him to come out gunslinger mode, and he did that for some of the third quarter and some of the second quarter. But I think in the first and fourth quarter, I think he was coming out screen and nailed them to the threes off Russell passes. So that's what you want to see.
Yeah, he had. I think it was the fourth quarter. D'Lo had just come in, and D'Lo dribbles up real slow between his legs, and then just waits for Nick to hook around a screen, and he just. I mean, it was perfect. And it's if he's gonna shoot like that, and he's not gonna be a complete zero on defense, that's fine. You know, it's a skill. He has skills that you want. You know. If he's trying, he's a better fit than if he's doing catch and shoot. Like if he's going through the system, he's a better fit than Lou, mainly because how Lou is 6'1",
Yeah.
So I still say Lou does it for the team well, but I mean, if he can somehow eventually, go with the system, it'll be fine. Is there any last things you want to touch on about the game?
Yeah, I think Nance really didn't play well at all. Russell gave him a couple really good passes that would have been great if he finished them, but he didn't catch them. Ball of them got some turnovers. He missed all of his jumpers from what I saw, and he didn't. I don't think he scored, right? I think he just laid it.
I'm checking right now. Nance went 0 for 4 from the field and 0 for 2 from 3. He finished with 2 points, so he had free throws. Yeah. D'Lo had this nice. He was on the left side and he dribbled up behind his back, and then he just did like a quick little shovel pass to Nance, and Nance was paying too much attention to Faried, and he had really bad hands tonight.
Yeah,
like oh man. I even tweeted about it. There was just times where it's just like, seriously, dude, catch the ball. Don't worry about what's in front of you. Just catch the ball, because he dropped or he missed it, and it became a turnover. So, let's see. Anyone else that sticks out? like we said, no August, no Brown, no Chairman Yi Jianlian. Uh, Shout out to Ben Rosales with the name. No Artest. Dang, it's still out with a bruised knee. Where Touch Jacobs and where all sat out. I think mainly what's left is I think the Lakers may be better than a lot of writers think they are. I know that you disagree, and that's fine. But like at the end, we played a lot of starters for starters, or
Yeah.
or guys that are rotation players versus rotation players, and I've said it before that I like them better than the Nuggets, and I know the Nuggets won 33 games last year, but Moutier was not good again. Jamal Murray, I think, ended up making a few more baskets. Moutier finished 5 for 13, so that's not great. And Jamal Murray was 3 for 8. Malik Beasley 1 for 7. I know Chandler, Jokic, and a couple other guys didn't play, but I think to begin the year, I think we could be looking better than they will. I mean, our stretch in the first 10 games is ugly. We might finish like 2-8 or 3-7, but I don't think it'll be blowouts like last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think definitely what we saw today is that the Lakers team is going to be competitive and it's going to be really, really fun. And I think they're definitely going to capitalize on teams that are not good on defense and that are still on getting back because they will be pushing the ball. Anyone who gets their hands on it, and I think that's going back to Julius Randle's rebounds. I think that's one of the main reasons why he didn't have so many. I think that so many people are getting the rebounds and just going. I think that people are actually fighting for the rebounds now, and it's not just one guy or the big guys go for it, and then we attack the lanes and get ways to get the ball. I think now you're finally starting to see more guys go for the ball and then push and then push and then push because now practically anyone except Mozgov from our starting lineup can push the ball, and that's something really good to see. Getting back to it, I think when we face good offensive teams, like I think Houston is their first real game, and I think that they're going to have a really good offense just because Mike D'Antoni's an offensive wizard, and he has one of the best offensive shooting guards in the league, in James Harden, and he has a stretch four who can knock it down in Ryan Anderson, who's not good on defense, which is why they're going to be atrocious on defense. But the offense will be deadly, so it's going to be good to see how the Lakers defend that and how Lou game plans for that, him being more of an offensive-minded coach than being a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah. I think our defense might surprise people. I don't think it'll be great. I don't think it'll even be average. But there were times, partly why I say we could be better than Denver, is we were flying around on the court in the first and second quarter. The third and fourth quarter, the defense broke down. It's also the second when the bench lineup was out there. But there were times where the defense was just suffocating, especially Moutier and not Nurkic. Nurkic was just having his way. He just was missing shots. But, Moutier, Gallo's Gallo. But it was refreshing to see, competent defense for once. I think, oh man, I'm already so much happier, than last year. Like I'm not wanting to just pull my hair out, just with just dumb lineups that were for 20 games. We've had some lineups that were just, we had Julius and Nance with Ingram, BR and JC at the same time, and those are going to be very, very fun this year, I think.
And obviously, you're already starting to see different lineups. I think Byron just last year he didn't really have a lineup. He just stuck to his all right. So at 6 minutes, D'Angelo you check in, and then after 3 minutes we're gonna check out, and then this is gonna check in and check in. So it's much more now of all right. So now we're gonna plug in and mix and match guys. And I think that Luke Walton is staying true to his word, and he's actually sticking to his promise that he was going to try different lineups and experiment. And I think that we're still going to see this 20, 30 games into the season. And I think probably post All-Star break, we'll finally see a stable rotation, which is going to be really fun. And it's not just going to be 1 and 2 lineups and maybe 3. It's going to be a bunch more lineups. It's going to be, all right, so for this situation, we're going to have this one, we're going to have this one, we're going to have this one. And then ultimately, down the stretch, the guys that are going to finish, they're going to finish. That's point blank. And JC will be in that lineup, whether he starts or he comes off the bench. Randall will for sure be in that lineup. Giannis will be in that lineup. And then whichever veterans they plug in is up to Luke.
Yeah, you bring up the last thing that I want to get to before questions. Do you think JC starts? It's a preseason. I don't want to look too much into it, but there's a lot of talk from people just on Twitter freaking out about it. Whenever I get upset about it, it's just mainly because Lou is not a starter, point blank. Like, full stop. Lou is not a starter. We saw that last year. He is not a starter. I can't repeat that enough times. If JC does come off the bench, which I think they're just messing around with lineups, as you said, just we're throwing a ton of different stuff. Who do you want starting at the 2?
I really, really like JC coming off the bench. I mean, I don't know if it's just me. Obviously, we don't have a definitive 2. That's why I kind of wanted to sign someone, because I really wanted to see JC on the bench. Not because he's less of a player, not because he's not good on defense. He improved on defense. He's now, I think today we finally saw him revert a little bit back to where he was last year. He wasn't as good, but he still's pretty good. And I think our defense in general, it's really changed. It's really much more suffocating now. We're finally getting into guys' faces. We're finally getting more competitive. And I think that's just probably just we want to play good for our coach. And so hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. I'll pick up from there. I would start JC. His defense looks so much better this year. Like I said, I do not want Lou starting under any circumstances. If anyone's going to go, it should probably be between Anthony Brown if he's making consistent shots, and I would say Ingram, but I don't know if they're going to play him at the 2 very much this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think that he's ready to start yet. I think that we saw improvements today. We saw him on defense that he really started to show his effect and how he's affected the game in little ways. But I'm not for Anthony Brown starting. I know that you guys, and there's a lot of Anthony Brown supporters. I think that he's going to be a fine bench guy. He's going to come off the bench and he's going to play good defense and shoot it hopefully better than he did the last game. I just
say if he shoots between 35 and shoot even like 30, 33 and 34 to like up, I think that he's fine as a starter. Right now, with him being inconsistent, I agree he's not, but
yeah, I saw it.
I don't want D'Angelo having to be the perimeter defender. Like if Lou's on the court. So
I think that
that's my point.
I think he still might be the perimeter defender if Jordan Clarkson's starting, though. That'd be my.
Clarkson has been a lot better. I mean, he still might be, but I think Luke has been pretty consistent in saying that he thinks that Clarkson has been one of their best defenders. So.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, and I think that D'Angelo played really, really good defense against a faster guard than he is. His legs really showed. He got some fouls on some plays where he just beat him, but I think that's pretty normal for a guard like him that's not built to blow by guys and that he will get blown by on occasions. So I think Lou starting isn't ideal, but I think it's the best way to get rid of him this season. I know that you're a big advocate of trading him, and I think that today's trade value went definitely up. And I think that if he keeps starting, gets playing time and run, that teams will trade for him. So I think that, and that combined with Jordan Clarkson being so good off the bench, I think that I wouldn't mind Lou Williams starting. Obviously, with the intent that he's gone by the end of the season, because you're right, he's not the right fit for the team. The ball will be stagnant, but I think that him starting, and I think that his trade value as a starter goes up than him being a six-man or a bench player. So
I think everyone knows what you're getting in Lou, so it doesn't matter. I would be calling up Stan Van Gundy up right now after the news that Reggie Jackson's going to be out. I don't even know if he has a timetable for return.
Yeah, it's early December at the earliest.
Yeah, so a month and a half into the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at the earliest. That because it was like a serum injection into the knees, right? That's unpredictable. Let's not go too long. So did we get any questions off of Lakers Pulse?
We were surprisingly for the last minute procrastination that we did. We got from Sergio V at Sergio V 2Es _. How much do you guys miss Byron?
I don't.
I don't miss him one bit. By Randy _BDA, should Luke stick with the Russ, Lou, Dang, Randall, Maz starting lineup?
I mean, we've only seen that the first game, you know. So I don't want Lou on the floor. Like I
Shocker.
swear I would not start with that. I just wouldn't. If he wants to see it, I guess whatever. But like I will say, until he is off of the Lakers, he is not a starter. So
I think that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I think even if he does start and if Lou plays like Lou does, I think that eventually Luke will figure out that Lou shouldn't start and that he's not the best fit for the new modern team. And he'll just stick him on the bench where that's really where you need inflated points. That's where, you know, just go get points and defenses, whatever, because you're playing against some second stringers and their offenses that they're rusted, maybe starting. So I think obviously the bench role is ideal for Lou. I think that's where he can make most of his money on. But I think that if I think I'm really starting to open up to the idea that I'm gonna trust Luke, and I'm gonna trust what he does and what he decides, because obviously it's kind of been working. Lou hasn't been the best player, obviously the best fit. He stops the ball movement, stagnates the offense, but it hasn't been overwhelming like it was with Byron, where it was just like every single time down, he was just doing the same thing over and over again. I think now he'll do it once in a while, and then he'll keep moving the ball. So it's not the end of the world, honestly.
Jason Thompson, I found the tweet. Lou Williams should come off the bench. When will the Clarkson experiment coming off the bench? And we've been talking about that. I say ASAP, but whatever. And then the last one from Jonathan Dario Romo. Okay. Russell's projection outlook for this season. Did you see the article by Mark Medina from Luke saying that he thinks that D'Angelo could score 20 a game? After the season or the preseason starting, I've been saying at least 18 a game, and I still want to see him against someone that's not Moutier. But I think that could be a real possibility. I don't know if that's just me being a homer and just being really high off of these last two games, but he scores in bunches, and it does not affect the offense at all, like in a bad way, you know? Like he doesn't just, you know, command the ball so much and then just, you know, he can, and when he scores, that's when he's able to see others, in my opinion. Friday night when he had his 21 points in 24 minutes, I think it was, he had 5 assists, and once he scored, that's when he was able to open it up to other people.
Yeah, I think we usually see Russell start off the game and trying to get his points and trying to score for not just for stats like Lou does. I think he's generally trying to because he sees that the offense isn't working that much, so he runs pick and roll, gets to a spot and shoots to Jay and makes it. And the one thing about Russell is that once he starts rolling, there's no way to stop him really unless you put Kawhi Leonard or Draymond Green on him. And even then, when he's hot, he's hot. And he doesn't get hot every game, so that's what you worry about, obviously. But I think you saw a nice, good, consistent stretch after the All-Star break and in Summer League, and still right now that he can still consistently put up points. And I think that 20 would be the sweet spot for where I think he will average most games. I don't think that he needs to get super hot. I think that he'll just score over time. And I do agree that especially in this game, towards the third and the fourth quarter, he started opening up more and looking for guys more and passing the ball more. Still scoring, but I think he was much more pass-oriented. And I think my thing with Russell and that what I like to see more is him set up the offense first and then try to score his points. I think that's what I like more because I think that if the whole team is functioning, it's easier for him to create a shot.
Yeah, what I think you meant was like when he sets the offense up, is he lets it run through, and he doesn't just overtake. Like he doesn't become the system. He lets the system work, and then he does what he needs to do. And I agree with that. When he scores in the flow, then everything else starts opening up. And most of his threes tonight were because of bad defense, because they were just sagging off of him. So we'll have to see how that goes. But people like the NBA should really realize like you can't leave him open. It's not going to end well for you.
I honestly think that the Nuggets were still stuck in training camp mode, and they thought it was Moutier, and they just left him open. And they just sagged on that. I think he can shoot that.
Oh man, I'm still really high on Moutier, but man, he was bad.
Yeah, he had a good stretch where he was really pushing the ball, but apart from that, he wasn't good.
Yeah. All right, last question we got from @Moho_Haroon. He's a writer for Lakers Pulse. He asked, "Do you think Julius will get another triple-double this year?" And I'd say yeah. And I think if he plays like he did tonight, I think he could get multiple triple-doubles. Not like Russell Westbrook or Draymond Green, like a ton of them, But I think he could have, 4 to 5 this year.
I don't want to say that yet. I think 4 to 5 is what I project for him next year. I think this year it'll be more like once or twice, maybe 3 times if he really improves. I think that his what I really took away from Randall, and I saw it in a couple of plays, and I think that people are still sagging on him way more. So once he really gets that jump shot down, I think that he's going to be a killer on offense, and I think that's going to open up so much more for him. Now he's going to be able to create more easier. He's going to be able to blow by guys faster, and then create the hell defense, and then drop it off, and that's where he's really going to get his assist. So I think that's going to be really good for him, and I think that especially with Luke trusting him to finally push the ball, get it, push. And Randall, with the handles, finally starting to come out. So I think that's good to see, and I think definitely this year he will get a triple double. Mark my words. I think that 4 or 5 is overshooting for Randall.
It might be, yeah. It very, very well might be. I'm probably just on a high right now from watching. So all right, I think that'll be it for the night. Nelson, do you have anything coming out?
Once my editors stop being lazy and they start editing my articles and pushing them out, why Russell is the best player will come out, some training camp thoughts, and I wrote a couple player profiles for our big project coming up, so be sure to be ready for that.
All right, sounds good. I will be hopefully now on every podcast. I might take a break every once in a while just from all 82. I guess I have to start writing now too. All right, that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, and go Lakers.
Go Dodgers.
Even year.
Oh.